If there's no God, then murder isn't wrong. Duh. Hey guys, so yesterday somebody tweeted me this video titled, "If there is no God, murder isn't wrong." Like to dislike ratio, not so good right now. And this is great. This is a video of a guy. I only watched the first few seconds of this 5-minute video because I don't want to spoil my reactions. But the gist of it that I got was that basically if you're an atheist, how does you have morals? If atheists, where morals come from? If you don't have God, why aren't you just raping and pillaging and murdering in the streets? Because the Bible is such an ethical book.
Do you believe that good and evil exist?
No, I do not.
The answer to this question separates Judeo-Christian values from secular values.
Why? The word evil kind of implies something of supernatural origin. So yeah, I mean, I believe in a subjective right and wrong, but let's see what he has to say. I'm sure he's gonna make a good point in here somewhere, or not.
Let me offer the clearest possible example. Murder. Is murder wrong?
In my opinion, subjectively, yes it is. But I guess you have to give context because most people who think murder is wrong will gladly support war.
Is it evil? Nearly everyone would answer yes.
Apparently not everyone, because I think the concept of evil is bullshit.
But now I will pose a much harder question. How do you know?
Well, it's a subjective opinion. It's not a matter of knowledge.
I'm sure you think murder is wrong, but how do you know? If I asked you how you know that the Earth is round, you would show me photographs from outer space or offer me measurable data. But what photographs could you show? What measurements could you provide that prove that murder or rape or theft is wrong?
I mean, like, I could ask you what measurements or evidence could you provide for God? Obviously, that's what everyone's probably thinking at this point, but let's just ignore that. Let's talk about subjective opinions instead and try to make a point there.
There are scientific facts, but without God, there are no moral facts.
Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into it. You need God for morals. You need the Bible for morals. I think this is really stupid. Really stupid. So, religious people, tell me this. If you're a religious person and you believe what this man is saying right now, if you found out right now 100% that there was no God, would you start murdering people, raping people? No? Why not? There's no God. The problem with this is that morality is very subjective and very much dependent on the time and place in which you live. The morals that people have today might not be the morals they have in 100 years, and the morals we have today are certainly not the morals we had 100 years ago. Why? Because objective morality doesn't exist. It's entirely subjective and, like I said, dependent upon the time and place in which you live, the people that you surround yourself with, what is expected from you by society. If you live in a society where murder is considered to be wrong, that is a secular value that religion is just stamping with God. And it shouldn't. Religion claims morality that's basically stolen from secular morality and then asks, how could you have it without religion? Well, because it was there before and it would be there without.
In a secular world, there can only be opinions about morality. They may be personal opinions or society's opinions, but only opinions.
Okay, yeah, that's what I just said. So we agree on a thing, but you're posing it as though that's a bad thing. But opinions is all that anyone ever has in this area because you can't say that your subjective opinion should be a standard fact for everyone.
Every atheist philosopher I have read or debated on this subject has acknowledged that if there is no God, there is no objective morality.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've been saying, and I feel like he's trying to trick viewers by using this word objective that people may or may not be familiar with. So let me explain it really quick, okay? Objective morality is kind of a claim that there is a set standard of morals that applies for everyone across every area, across every time zone. It is the objective. What is right and wrong has been and always will be the same. Subjective morality is basically whenever you admit that morality is, like I said, a product of the time and place that you live, and something that you have basically decided that is the norm so that you can survive and function as a member of society. But whenever he says atheists think there's no objective morality, if people don't know this difference, they might just be hearing, and I think he's banking on this, that they're just hearing atheists don't believe that there is such a thing as morality, and that's absolutely not the case.
Judeo-Christian values are predicated on the existence of a God of morality.
Right, of course, the same God of morality that just likes to randomly drown everyone.
In other words, only if there is a God who says murder is murder wrong?
Or, whenever God says that murder isn't wrong, like whenever he instructs people to murder other people for things like, I don't know, being gay.
Otherwise, all morality is opinion.
All morality is opinion. And let me just say this, if you're a Christian out there watching and you were upset at me pointing out that the Bible calls for death whenever someone is gay because it's just in the Old Testament, because it's just in Leviticus, let me ask you, with what sense of morality do you filter through the shit in the Bible? Let me guess, let me take a stab at it. You have an opinion on what morality is. In other words, you have a subjective morality that, by the way, is secular in origin, that you use to filter out the good bits of the Bible to keep and ignore the bad bits. You have to use some kind of opinion function in your brain to decide which parts to keep and which parts not to keep. Where do you think you got that skill?
Now, let me make two things clear. First, this doesn't mean that if you don't believe in God, you can't be a good person.
Duh. Thank you for pointing out the obvious.
There are plenty of kind and moral individuals who don't believe in God and Judeo-Christian values.
If you're saying that you can be moral without God, doesn't that just, kind of debunk everything that you previously said? Hey, how can you be a moral person without God? But hey, if you don't have God, you can be a moral person. What? Make up your damn mind.
Hitler, Stalin, and Mao didn't want to be murdered, but that hardly stopped them from murdering about 100 million people. It is not a coincidence that the rejection of Judeo-Christian values in the Western world by Nazism and communism led to the murder of all these innocent people.
People always say Hitler was an atheist and this is why he did all of these horrible things. No, Hitler wasn't an atheist. Hitler was a crazy person. And let's not forget that the Nazis wore belt buckles that said "God mit uns" on them. That translates to God with us. And if we're really gonna focus on atrocities committed by people, let's not ignore things that happened like the Crusades.
It is also not a coincidence that the first societies in the world to abolish slavery, an institution that existed in every known society in human history, were Western societies rooted in Judeo-Christian values.
The Western societies rooted in Judeo-Christian values were the societies that had slaves to begin with. In fact, oftentimes the Bible was used to justify slavery. There are verses in the Bible that condone slavery. How is he missing this? It's awfully convenient.
And so were the first societies to affirm universal human rights, to emancipate women.
Okay, all right, I've already gone into the things that the Bible condones, like murder, slavery, and let's not forget it was pretty misogynistic. So to use the Bible and religion, which has historically been pretty oppressive of women, to say that that was the reason women got their rights is just kind of blowing my mind right now. The mental gymnastics, A+.
Today, the rejection of Judeo-Christian values and moral absolutes has led to a world of moral confusion.
It seems like this concept of objective versus subjective morality, this idea of a definite good versus a definite bad or evil, is this thing that religious people just cling to. And I don't go along with that. I'm sorry, I just disagree with that. I think it's all very subjective. It is all opinion. And I'm really thankful when people don't base those opinions off of the Bible, because if we did actually follow what the Bible said to do, we would live in a pretty immoral world. Whenever I debated that preacher, he kept trying to get me on this point, and it just didn't work.
Do you believe in absolutes?
Moral absolutes?
Period.
It depends on what do you mean?
Do you believe in moral absolutes?
Like objective morality?
Right.
No. Because if there were some kind of objective morality, some like clear line between right and wrong that everyone just knew, then there wouldn't be so much debate. Even within Christianity, there are a lot of Christians that can't collectively agree on issues like gay rights, abortion, divorce. I feel like that kind of disproves it.
Most people know right from wrong. Do you know right from wrong?
I don't believe that there is a standard definition of right from wrong. I understand what you're trying to say.
Okay.
But I feel like, again, that implies a sense of objectivity that I don't think is right. I feel like it's a very subjective thing. My right from wrong is very different than the right from wrong of people in Iraq.
Is it wrong to hate your fellow man?
I don't feel that that is good for other people or yourself.
Is it wrong?
For me personally, yes.
Is it wrong, period?
I don't believe that there is a period objective wrong for everyone as a whole.
For the radical homosexuals.
So anyways, like I said, this is a thing that people have been arguing about for a long time, and then I saw this video and it was incredibly frustrating, and it was posted pretty recently too, so I decided to make this response and go through and react to it. Incredibly frustrating. So let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think that there is an objective or a subjective morality? Do you think that there is a definite good and evil? I want to hear all about your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Give this video a like. Special thank you again to everyone supporting me on Patreon. Couldn't do it without you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.